Happy late Mother's Day. Or since I'm New York like that, it came out as Mothers, but I meant to say Mothers. Happy late Mother's Day out there to everybody. Except for ungrateful ass Puerto Rican imported guide/emotional distress dogs/bitches, because that's what this one was. Dog ran away over the weekend, day before Mother's Day that just passed, this past Sunday, in Lower Manhattan, owned by a mother, of all things, or she used to be a mother because she isn't a mother now. Well, no, she didn't die, so she's a mother still, but she gave birth, which entitled her to be dubbed as a mother. I think this dog ran away from its owner, this lady, because maybe the lady, dogs, they kind of, in one ear out the other, they can't really understand us. We kind of sound like the adults in the Charlie Brown Peanuts cartoons and then blah, 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 blah. And maybe they can hear like leash, food, or, fuck you, or something like that. Kind of here and there with the words.
Oh, fuck! Dang. I told you.
It's like, ow!
¿Qué le pasa a este hombre ahora, viejo? What's wrong?
This dog might have heard, since it's Puerto Rican, mind you, it's a Puerto Rican bitch named Lucy, of all things, to name the dog that. The dog might have overheard, blah, 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 birthing person, da, da, blah, 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 retitled, blah, 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 myself as, no more mother. Maybe the dog got the hint that this bitch is going crazy, the owner referring to, and decided, because of what it did in the news, there's proof of that, ran its ass from downtown Manhattan through the train, went into fucking Chambers Street, ran its ass up to fucking 34th Street, stayed there, laying, waiting for a train to run over it, of all things, because it couldn't live life no more. Or maybe it got so tired of putting up with her antics and said, I might as well run my fucking hairy ass uptown to Dykeman or the Heights, wherever I gotta go, get me some fucking Dominican dog dick, and just call it a day and roam those streets for as long as I can. But unfortunately, it only made it 34th Street, because I'm assuming dogs can't read numbers like that. Maybe just got tired halfway, so I'm going to take a rest here, and then it got caught anyway, so then now it's back with its owner. Of all things, with that being said, don't trust Puerto Rican guide/emotional distress dogs, because they will bite you in the ass, proverbially and literally, probably when as soon as it got back home, because birthing person, whatever, dumb bitch.
There's more than one man that can play head games here. Look at this! He is walking, Triple H! You don't have to stand for that, Triple H!
So yeah, birthing persons or mothers, formerly known as aside. There's also the fact that things are getting back together, just like that dog and its owner, or that useless fucking Puerto Rican bitch named Lucy and its birthing person redubbed, just like them getting together. Ben Affleck, of all things. Ben Affleck, Jennifer Lopez, getting back together. Machucando, whatever you want to call it. But Ben Affleck Part 2 or Ben Affleck the redub and shit too, I always thought for the longest time, and I wouldn't blame either or. They might have broken up, or the straw that broke the camel's back might have been that horrible movie, Geely. Which I get it. It's funny to call it giggly or jiggly, whatever, too, because, thinking of J-Lo's ass immediately, even though 50 plus now, that ass is up and stuck and defying all kinds of gravity. If they make a sequel to fucking, what was that space movie? What was the one with Matthew McConaughey? Astronomical, extraterrestrial, whatever the fuck, equilibrium. I'm going to fucking hate myself for not remembering right now. They make a sequel to a space movie, just have her fucking ass as a floating rock out there, because it's just defying all laws of physics, gravity, all that too. For as old as she is, and as fine as fuck as she still is, Ben Affleck is swooping in, just like he did in Dawn of Justice, as the better version of Batman that they afforded him the courtesy of being, right in action, swooping, taking advantage. And why not take advantage of her still looking fine as fuck? So apparently the story is, they were seen together in Montana. He was driving, she was riding shotgun. Like, he was writing all these emails, like really heartfelt and heart depth. Like, oh, I missed that ass, the way it, bounced off my dick, made my balls tremble as soon as I came, etc., etc. And like, oh, she's up on the emojis and all the expressions like LOL, OMG, ROFL, you a wild one, Ben. Let me see that ass again soon enough. And then they got together in fucking Montana of all places. So presumably they're getting back together as they're speculating right now, which I think works to his benefit because one, that ass is still phenomenal, like AJ Styles. It's like aging with fucking grace and style. No one's touching it, and it's just highly decorated like a war veteran at this point too. Also, apparently, and I forgot about this completely, she still held on to the engagement ring that he gave her the first time around when they were the first version of Ben Affleck 1.0. A big ass fucking beautiful pink diamond engagement ring that you could practically skate on. It looked like the diamond just got scooped out of a big ass like cup of pink lemonade or something too. It's just a beautiful thing. And you know, beside it being pink, it's a gorgeous little thing to look at. So that saves him the added effort or headache of having to shop for a ring for, of all people, Jennifer Lopez. Because, oh wow, you think about it too, she's already kept rings from fucking Mark Anthony, who's no slouch, no crab as far as like spending or splurging. Also A-Rod too, he probably paid a pretty penny for that engagement ring, if there was one. I don't remember, to be honest. And then, as I just said too, there's the Ben Affleck ring that she had too from the past. Now, knowing J-Lo, she might be like, listen, all this time passed, I'm still looking fine as fuck. Take a look at my ass. I mean, who isn't fucking looking back at that thing and breaking their neck just to get a better glance at it? Ben. So cough up the funds and let's see what's doing with all that Batman movie money you made from fucking doing 2 movies and getting overpaid for it too. Even though I'll still debate and fight anyone here in the comments, wherever you want to feel like dropping it. Ben Affleck, best version of Batman, fight me, debate me, let's talk about it, whatever. But side note, of course, I think he could still talk her into being sensible enough to be like, listen, it was long enough, time has passed enough between us since then. Version 1 of Ben Affleck, let's make it fucking honorable. Let's fucking keep in mind that we're still in the pandemic, people lost their jobs and shit. Let's fucking harness the fact that we're going to use that ring again. We're going to recycle engagement rings again. You take that one, we'll fucking put it back on display. That's the one we'll keep, so it just motivates people to fucking work harder to get to our level, if anything. And then low key, you know, without nobody looking, he'll just like toss another ring to shut her the fuck up. Because, you know, Jennifer Lopez, allegedly a diva, but, you know, is she worth a second ring? Second engagement if they make it that far? That's up to Ben Affleck. I don't know how much he's only gotten older since then, so I don't know how active or in pursuit of a sex drive and active sex life he's going to be with Jennifer Lopez. But, you know, again, she is still looking fine as fuck. So let's give it the benefit of the doubt. Maybe he'll actually splurge for a second ring. Oh, shit. And just have to pick another color and just, you know, call it a day with that. I got the need. The need for speed. And also, by the way, a brand new episode of what you're watching right now, which is Who This Been Watching. Now, besides Ben Affleck, besides allegedly getting back together, let's see where that goes and ends up being. If anything, a long, you know, fruitful relationship, if anything, too, for the second time. I gotta give a very long overdue, almost 3-decade long, but no one seemed to stop him because it kind of flew, you know, no pun intended, under the radar like that for so long. Paws to motherfucking Kenny Loggins. Now, talented, you know, artist, musician, everything too, very much accolade and shit too. You may know him or remember 2 of his songs. That's 4. 2 of his songs from the soundtrack to the much heralded, I don't think it was that great, but I'll go into further detail later this week with a review for it in detail, Top Gun from 1986, starring Tom Cruise and Val Kilmer, and I forget her name, but she was fine as fuck back when in 1986. But a mega long, 3-decade long, emphasizing long, pause to Kenny Loggins, because if you know that movie, if you watched it enough, you remember it fondly because of almost everyone's favorite song from that time, that era, which really encompassed the 80s, was Danger Zone, again by Kenny Loggins. You know, highway. I'm not going to sing the rest because I shouldn't be singing. I'm a fucking wildebeest when I sing, or at least I sound like one. He's got that song, which is fucking knock it out the park, a fucking hit, memorable, you know, who doesn't do it at karaoke if they afford a chance. Grand Theft Auto 2 as well, and Grand Theft Auto 5, etc., etc. But there is a fact that there's another song, the second song used in that fucking movie and for the soundtrack, which goes, again, flying under the radar, but we gotta expose it for what it is. Mega pause for this song. First off alone by the song title, Playing. I always thought for so long, because I never paid attention to it, it was Hanging, which would have been questionable, maybe not so pause-worthy, but when I went to look back at it to make sure, when I was doing the research, I just wanted to double check on that shit too. It's actually playing with the boys. That's the first strike against it. Playing with the Boys is a song title. Second, the hook is him repeating over and over again how much fun he's having playing with the boys. Now listen, I'm not being idiotic purposely or nothing like that too. I get it. He means boys as in a group of guys just getting together, playing sports, or getting sweaty together, all that shit too. They might as well be wrestling in underwear, overgrown men getting sweaty and like getting on top of each other and grappling each other for no reason for like 20, 25 minutes or something like that to only pretend win or lose. But he's emphasizing playing with the boys. I get it, playing with his boys and shit too. But the song title, the hook, and on top of that, these lyrics, as I quote from the first verse, I'd say it was the right time to walk away. When dreaming takes you nowhere, it's time to play. Bodies working overtime, your money don't matter. The time keeps ticking when someone's on your mind, I'm moving in slow motion. Feels so good. It's a strange anticipation. Pause in advance. Knocking on wood, because you're playing with the boys too much and they're getting too excited and sweaty and worked up. Bodies working overtime again. Pause again. It's a man against man. Yikes. And all that ever matters is, baby. I don't whisper that shit to guys when I'm playing fucking basketball, D'ing up on some guy already sweating on me, pressing on me and shit. Baby, for what? Throw it in there for what? Who's ahead in the game? Funny, but it's always the same. And then it goes into the fucking hook, which is super questionable, along with a video too as well. Thank God this girl's presence, but mostly it's emphasis on playing with the boys. Playing with the boys. Staying, stuck, presumably because that's what it's alluding to. Playing with the boys after chasing sunsets. One of life's simple joys is playing, again, pause, with the boys. Listen, they tried to fucking bring down Michael Jackson for as long as they did, as hard, pause, as they did. Accusing him of shit too. Now supposedly there's proof coming out, or not too long ago, there's proof coming out of something to be announced that, you know, we were wrong. There was no real proof that he did what he did with the boys allegedly too and shit too. What the fuck about this? Was this co-written by Michael Jackson? Is that what someone would accuse him of later on in life? Michael Jackson would have fucking heard this shit and be like, pause, Kenny, what are you doing out there? You're wilding. Some shit too. Overkill, too much, we get it. Emphasis with the boys and shit too, but just relax.
Yo, it's over. Alright, it's over. It's over. Move the mic. Move the mic.
Thank you.
Alright.